Hello, everyone, and welcome to our kindergarten orientation for the 2020-2021 school year. We have never done a video orientation before, but based on what's been happening these past few months, this is how we will be doing our kindergarten orientation. So welcome, parents, welcome new kindergarten students. My name is Mrs. Bammer, and I'm very excited to welcome you to LPES, and I'm super excited to meet all of you in person. So what I will do is I am going to run through the PowerPoint that I normally share, and we will go through that, and I will just add some of the changes for this year. So our mission statement for all of our students is that our school will inspire and empower our children with opportunities that positively shape their lives and help them to become successful, lifelong learners who possess the critical thinking, academic, and leadership skills required for the 21st century. And I am honored that you are joining this journey with me and your children. So thank you and welcome. So normally I will call up different people to speak to you while you're sitting in the gym. However, this year we obviously couldn't do that. So we have videos from most of the people who participate. So we have a video from Mr. Grube, our superintendent, a video from Mrs. Ficker, my administrative assistant. She's probably the person with whom you've spoken to the most. Mrs. Sorrentino, we don't have a video for her. She is our part-time secretary. So when you call the office, if you don't get Mrs. Ficker, most likely you'll get Mrs. Sorrentino. And then we have videos from Mrs. Cifelli, our school nurse, Mrs. Kennelly, our learning consultant, whose office is in the child study team, Mrs. Heffler, our school counselor, and we also ask our PTO officers to say a few words. So for this, I will talk about the PTO a little bit. So this is usually the best part of orientation when the children, when I call them up by color and they go off with some of the kindergarten teachers. So on a normal year, each child will get a name tag and it'll have a little colored circle on it. And I call the children up and then they go off with the teachers and they play with the smart board and they make a craft, they read a book, and you get to stay in the gym with me. But it's always so great to see the kids' faces when they come up. So I can't wait to actually see their faces in person. Or for those who are not coming to school and you've chosen the virtual option, when I pop into the Zoom meetings, I'll be able to see your faces. So Mrs. Cifelli spoke about the health office procedures. This year, there is something new for parents to do in the morning. When your child is sick on a normal year, we ask you to call the attendance line and call your child out. This year, however, for the days that your child is supposed to be in school, we ask that you fill out a COVID reporting form, and this will be sent to you via Genesis, the parent portal. If you have any questions, we will send out some more information on that. That will hopefully answer your questions. But if you do have questions, you can always reach out to me or to Mrs. Cifelli. Mrs. Heffler, our school counselor, is a wonderful resource for parents and for students. So she is available for individual lessons, group lessons, individual counseling, group counseling. She does an amazing job. So please, if your child is having any difficulties, whether it's academic or social or emotional, please feel free to reach out to her and she will be more than happy to help. Mrs. Kennelly, our learning consultant, normally organizes and runs our kindergarten screening. We couldn't do that this year like we normally do in May, where the children come in and they spend about a half hour with us. So what we will be doing this year is when the children start school in September, we will be using some benchmarking, and that's how we will determine some levels that the teachers can address in the classroom. Our PTO works very hard for both schools. We have one PTO for both the middle school and the elementary school, and the activities that they run benefit both schools. Their biggest event is the Tricky Tray, and it was a virtual Tricky Tray this year, and Mrs. De La Rosa is the chairperson for the Tricky Tray, and she did an amazing job this year. She spent a great deal of time on it, and it turned out really, really well. So we do encourage you to join the PTO. They do great things for our school and for our children. So general information, a normal school day, a full school day is from 9 to 3:30. A delayed opening is 11 to 3:30, and an early dismissal is 9 to 1:25. This year, our dismissal will be at 1:25. Normally, with absences, we encourage the children to be in school. Obviously, we want your kids in school as much as possible. But this year, with coronavirus, we are asking that if your child does have any symptoms, that you keep him or her home. So our general, 3 tardies equal 1 absence and no more than 2 absences a month policy. While we do want the children here and we will be looking at attendance, it's more important if your child does have any symptoms that you do keep him or her home to make sure that they are okay. We ask that you make any appointments outside of the school day. With it being a shortened school day, we hope that you'll be able to accommodate this so that when the children are supposed to be in school, that they are present there with their teachers. And then you'll also have videos from our 5 kindergarten teachers. They're all wonderful. This year we have Mrs. Didi, Mrs. Giannacci, Mrs. Gomes, Mrs. Kerwin, and Mrs. Roller, who are our kindergarten teachers. So general information. The registration packets, we no longer do packets. Everything is now online, which you are aware of. The supply list is on the electronic backpack page of our website. And the electronic backpack page of our website, and I will show a picture of the website in a few moments, is a great place for you to go. The electronic backpack page has flyers for Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, the YMCA, school flyers, our newsletter. Our website also has the calendar, so please make sure that you do become familiar with the electronic backpack page and with the calendar. We do ask with the supply list that you don't send in any wheeled backpacks. They are a tripping hazard and they're also not great on the school bus. And we ask that you only send in the materials that we have asked for. And again, this year, there will not be sharing of materials. The children will have their own toolkits that they will keep on their desk. We ask about a change of clothes because accidents do happen. So this is something that children can keep in their cubby. And in a normal year, we ask for rainy day bags. This year, we're not asking for those. And what's a rainy day bag? A rainy day bag is when it's a rainy day or a snowy day and we can't go out for recess. The children bring this with them to the cafeteria, and once they're done eating, they can use what's in the rainy day bag. So a coloring book, some blank paper, crayons, colored pencils, just something very simple to help keep them occupied. We ask that you do not send in toys, no stuffed animals, no electronics, just things that are very simple for the kids to do and clean up. So the first few days of school are always a little bit hectic, and this year things will be a little different than we normally do. So we have the August welcome letter, which will be emailed to you. And then on a normal year, we have apples, and each homeroom gets a different color apple, and it has the child's name on it. And one of the most important things that we ask, whether it's this year or a normal year, is how is your child getting home? It is super, super important that your child knows if he or she is taking the bus or if you will be picking him or her up. Now, a normal year, morning drop-off and afternoon dismissal. If you bring your child to school, if you drive your child to school, normally they will come in the back walker door. When they're dismissed, they will be dismissed out of that back walker door. So dismissal, if you're picking your child up, is the same. They will leave the school from that back walker door. If they're taking the bus, they will walk out of the main entrance. With drop-off, though, we are changing drop-off for social distancing. So your kindergarten children you'll drop them off in the back, they will walk around the building, and they will come in the door to the left of the main office door. So the main door is when you face the school where you buzz to come in, it will be to the left. And that is our small kindergarten hallway, and that's where our kindergartners will go in, whether you drive them or they take the bus. If you have first and second graders, they will come in the main doors. Third and fourth graders will come in the walker door, and the fifth graders who will be back at our building, which I'm kind of excited about because I really didn't get to say goodbye to them last year when they were fourth graders. They will come in the cafeteria playground door. So we're trying to, while it may make your child walk a little more, we are trying to distance and have specific entrances for the children. So again, on a normal year, we have fourth grade helpers. This year, we will not have fourth grade helpers, but we do have a lot of staff members who will be around the building and will help the children get to where they need to go. So we will not be having lunch, but we will be having snack. So we do ask that you send a snack in with your child each day that they're physically in school. And we ask that you send in something simple. Please don't send in, like a pseudo lunch, just something that they can eat and clean up quickly because your child will be in the same classroom all day long. We have a lot to get through in those 4.5 hours that they will be with us. So please make sure that whatever snack you send in is something quick that they can eat and then clean up. Normally, your child would be able to bring lunch or purchase lunch. This year, you will be able to purchase lunch. It will be a bagged lunch. It will be delivered to your child's class between 1 and 1:15, and they will take it with them and they will take it home for their lunchtime at home. And that information can be found on our website. And it's also the Pomptonian program that runs our cafeteria and provides lunch that you can also access information from their website. So if your child was able to come to school and eat in the cafeteria, this is a picture of what the cafeteria looks like. So the children sit by homerooms, and we have 2 tables per homeroom. This is the door that they will enter when they're able to purchase lunch, and we have hot lunches and cold lunches. They go through the serving line and they will take their food. Again, this is a normal year, not this year. And then they come out to the kiosks where they scan their cards or they pay. We do encourage everyone to sign up for payforit.net, and that's an online payment system where you put in a credit card and then there's no money that has to exchange hands. So there's no, where's this dollar change I have? If there's a quarter and a dime on the lunch tray, it gets thrown mistakenly in the garbage. So if you do in a normal year or even this year, you can sign up for payforit.net, put a specific amount of money on the card, and then again, your child can just purchase lunch or snack on a normal year, and it just comes right off that card. So we do love birthdays at LPES. However, this year we will not be allowing any food to come in to the school. So normally, I hate to say normally, but normally if we do have a birthday celebration for your child, it's very quick. And we ask that you just send in something simple that the teacher can give out to the students. The ingredients must be listed, because there are a number of children with allergies, and you must tell the teacher that something is coming in. You must arrange it first. You can't just come and drop something off. So, there's no balloons, there are no ice cream sundaes, no flash photography, no marching bands. Again, just something simple. No treat bags, no cupcake cakes. I know that a lot of people like cupcake cakes, but they are a mess. So please, no cupcake cakes. On a normal year, you would send in something very simple that could be consumed, and again, as I said, has the ingredients listed. Something simple, because if it doesn't have the ingredients listed and it doesn't meet our guidelines, then we reserve the right not to hand it out. And again, this is a normal year. This year, we will not be allowing anything to come in for birthdays. So I mentioned the Genesis Parent Portal, and you can access this right from our district homepage. Everyone has an account. If you ever have any issues with your account or you change your email, let's say, please let Mrs. Ficker or me know so that we can change that in Genesis so that you make sure that you get all of the notices. The last day of the week, whether it's a Wednesday or a Friday, I send out an electronic backpack with some dates that are coming up, some information. So you want to make sure that you get that so you know what's going on. So again, the electronic backpack that I just mentioned, if you are not getting emails from Genesis, I do ask that you check your spam folder because sometimes it comes as a do not reply email, and that, depending on your email provider, may get put into your spam folder. On our website is our student parent handbook. In that, we have our dress code. So please, make sure that your child is dressing appropriately for school. And we also have something in there about invitations. So with birthdays, again, on a normal year, we ask that if you are having a party for your child, you can either send invitations to everyone in the class that the teacher can hand out, or all the girls in the class, or all the boys in the class. But if your child has some friends in, let's say, another class, we do not hand those out. We only hand out either to everyone in the class or one gender in the class. So here's our website. And again, you can either go right to the elementary school's website or to the district website. And again, there's the drop down that shows you all of the information that you can find. So a sample schedule, we pack a lot into our kindergarten days, and a normal year has a lot of different components to it. This year, your child will receive 1 hour of reading, 1 hour of language arts, 1 hour of math, and 1 hour of science or social studies, depending on the week. And then they will receive their special area class in the afternoon. What is a special area class? They will have Spanish, they will have art, computers, music, PE, and then they will also have STEM. So that schedule will be coming from your child's homeroom teacher once we begin school. Lunch and recess this year will be done at home. We also have a good amount of time for dismissal to make sure that everyone gets home. And then your children will log back in at 2:40 for their special area classes, which will run from 2:40 to 3:40. So we don't have our own buses. We contract with the First Student Bus Company, and we ask that you make sure your child knows his or her bus number. Our buses are numbered. And if you are not going to have your child take the bus home and you are going to pick him or her up and they're normally a bus student, we ask that you send a note in. And it's very important that the note is sent to the teacher and it's given to the teacher first thing in the morning, or you call us in the morning to let us know. Please do not wait until dismissal to change dismissal plans, because it's very hectic in the afternoon with trying to dismiss so many children. So the more time that we have to make sure the message is appropriately communicated to the teacher and to your child, the better. If, let's say, your child gets home and realizes that he or she left his or her backpack on the bus, the number for First Student is right there, 696-1441, and you can call them directly. They'll be able to look and see if what your child thinks he or she lost is on the bus. So normally when the children come in, they sit outside of their classrooms, and at dismissal, they sit in bus lines. However, we will not be doing that this year. When your children arrive, normally our doors open at 8:30, but we're shortening that this year. When your children arrive, they will go directly to their kindergarten classroom. And when they are dismissed, they will stay in their classroom until they are dismissed by bus number, or if they are walkers. When your child is dropped off in the afternoon at the bus, we do ask that there is someone there to claim your child. So in the past, it had to be an adult. However, we did change that last year, that it has to be a middle school or above student who is there to claim your child. So it could be a child who attends the middle school, or a child in high school, or a neighbor, or obviously you or one of your friends, but there has to be someone there to claim your child. If there is no one there for your child, then the bus drivers are instructed to have the child come back onto the bus if they have already gotten off, and they will bring them back to the school. So regardless of the year, we have behavioral expectations on the bus, and we expect that all children will adhere to those expectations. So it's really important, boys and girls, if you're watching this with mom and dad, that you know what type of behavior is expected on the bus. So normally we have the children sit by grade level. This year, if there are siblings, they will be sitting together because we have to social distance on the bus. Respect for the bus driver. Doesn't matter if it's COVID or not. You have to respect the bus driver. You have to follow his or her rules. Entering and leaving the bus, you wait for the person in front of you to get off of the bus, and then you get off. There's no pushing, there's no shoving. There will be assigned seats. You have to sit in your assigned seat. You're talking quietly. There's no yelling. You're keeping your objects and your arms to yourself. You're wearing your seatbelt. And the main thing is you must wear your mask. So you have to wear your mask at the bus stop. You have to wear your mask on the bus. If we have reports that children are taking their mask off on the bus and they are not listening, then that means that the bus transportation, which is a privilege, can be taken away, and that you would then have to transport your child. He or she would not be allowed to ride one of our buses anymore. So when you send in notes, we talked about this a little earlier, please make sure that it includes your child's whole name, your name, the date, the teacher, and the information. Please don't send in a Post-it note or a small piece of paper because it can get lost. To help you, on our website, we have a walker form, and if you fill this out, this has all of the pertinent information that we would need. So morning drop-off procedures for a normal year is you would proceed to the back parking lot and there's a drop-off circle. You can still do that this year. Normally, though, when we drop children off, no matter what grade level they're in, they'll come in that back walker door. And as I said, this year for our kindergartners, they will be, if you drop them at the stop sign or in that drop-off line, they will be walking around the school and they will be coming in that kindergarten specific entrance door. So this is just an example of how the cars will come around and you pull up to the stop sign. Now, this year, if you choose, you can park your car in a parking space. Please make sure you're parking in a parking space, and then you can walk your child to the appropriate door. So if you do need to come into the school for any reason, again, you would park your car, you would ring the bell. If your child comes after 9 o'clock, you would come to the main office, you would ring the bell, you would sign your child in, and again, you would state your name, your child's name, and the reason for coming in. Out front, we do have security bins, and we have a drop-off bin for grades K1 and 2, and a drop-off bin for grades 3 and 4, and then a pickup bin. So if your child does forget something, this is where you can drop something off. We have the lobby guard, and one of the easiest things to please remember your license. If you remember your license, it will make the process easier. If you forget your license, it does add some steps. So we will be sharing the lobby guard video with all parents. You would use this if, let's say you have to pick your child up for some reason. Or if in a normal year you're coming in for a meeting, you would use the lobby guard. So again, we will send that video out to everyone. So afternoon pickup, we ask that you will follow the directional arrows, please. We ask that you park in specific parking spaces. Please don't park along the yellow curbing. Please don't go the opposite way of the arrows. Arrival and dismissal are shortened times this year, so it is important that everyone follows the arrows and follows the directions. Please don't double park. Please don't block people in. That is very problematic. When you're walking your child, please make sure that you're walking with your child. Don't let them run ahead of you, possibly into traffic. Again, please make sure that you are helping us help you. So please only pick up your child. Don't help out someone who may be running late unless that parent has already sent in a note that you'll be picking up his or her child. We ask that there are no pets allowed on school property. So if you have a dog or a cat or a hamster, whatever at home, please leave them at home. Please do not allow them on school property. We do have security drills. We will still be having security drills, but the exact nature of how we will be doing those drills are a little different this year, and we're still receiving guidance from the state on that. So each year we will have a fire drill that has been suspended a little bit because of the coronavirus, and we have security drills. We don't interrupt classes if you need to speak to your child or drop something off. If you have a message that has to get to your child that's an emergency, you will call the office, you will let the teacher know, and we will get that message. But once the children are in the building, parents do not come in to speak with the children. Again, the lobby guard, remember your license. That will expedite the process when you have to use it. And when you do come to the main office and you have to ring the bell, we are not trying to be difficult, but we will ask you some questions. We will ask you for your name, your child's name, the reason for your visit. Please speak clearly. Sometimes the sound is a little muffled, and depending on the time of day, the sun glare could affect how and where you're standing can affect us seeing. So again, we're not trying to be difficult. We just want to make sure that whoever is coming into our building should be coming into our building. We do have a HIB policy, harassment, intimidation, and bullying policy, and we have many other policies, and all of these policies can be found on the website. When you log into Genesis, when the schedules are available for you to see, there are beginning of the year forms that you will have to acknowledge. Once you do that, Genesis will open and you will see your child's schedule and to whom he or she has been assigned for kindergarten. Again, on a normal year, we have an open house in August, but unfortunately, we were not able to do that this year. So I know that's a little disappointing with your children not being able to see their classrooms, but we are making sure that we are doing everything we can to ensure the safety of the children and the staff. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to your child's teacher. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to Mrs. Ficker or Mrs. Sorrentino, Mrs. Heffler, Mrs. Safelli. We're always available for anything that you may need.
I always love to see the children's faces when I call them up by their colored groups and I call the teachers up, and they get so excited to see the kindergarten teachers. So what we have now is we have a few words from each of our 5 kindergarten teachers, and our kindergarten teachers are Mrs. Dede, Mrs. Gomes, Mrs. Giannacci, Mrs. Kerwin, and Mrs. Roller. And they are all fabulous boys and girls. You are going to love whichever kindergarten teacher you have.
Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. Dede. I'll be teaching kindergarten in September. I just want to take a minute to introduce myself. I've been at Lincoln Park Elementary School for 12 years. I began teaching kindergarten, and then for the past 9 years, I taught first grade. So I'm very excited to be going back to kindergarten in September. I look forward to meeting all of you, and I hope that you all have a wonderful, safe, happy, healthy summer, and I can't wait to meet everyone in the fall. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Hi, boys and girls. I'm Mrs. Giannacci, and I'm one of the kindergarten teachers at LPES. And if I'm lucky enough, maybe I'll have you in my class next year. I can't wait to meet you and see all your smiling faces in the fall. I hope you have a wonderful summer. Bye, boys and girls.
Hi, boys and girls. I'm Mrs. Gomes, and I'm a kindergarten teacher at LPES, and I am so excited that you'll be joining us in the fall for kindergarten. Fingers crossed, if I'm lucky, you might even be in my class. So I just wanted to take a moment and welcome you all. Kindergarten is so much fun. There's so much to learn and explore and do. So I hope you all have a wonderful summer, and I'll see you in September. All right, boys and girls, take care.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Kerwin.
So parents, if you and your students were sitting in our gymnasium where we normally have our orientation, I would be calling your students up into groups, and once they left with the kindergarten teachers, I would call up some different speakers. So what we have done is they have prepared some videos for you, and with that we will start with a video from Mr. Grube, our superintendent.
Hello, my name is Jim Grube. I am the superintendent of the Lincoln Park School District. I wanted to take a moment to welcome all the kindergarten students and their parents to the Lincoln Park School District. This is not how I would normally welcome you. This would normally have been done in the spring. We would have been at the elementary school gymnasium. I would have taken a few minutes and introduced Mrs. Bammer and the staff, and that's the normal way I would have met most of the parents and kindergarten students. But as we all know, it is not the normal year and things aren't going on as we normally do. So I wanted to just introduce myself, welcome you. I know Mrs. Bammer will be providing you with more information, and I'm hoping that I will be able to see you all soon. Thank you.
Now, one of the people with whom you have spoken to, I'm quite sure, is Mrs. Ficker. And Mrs. Ficker is my administrative assistant, and she is the one who usually will answer the phone and can answer most of your questions. So now a word from Mrs. Ficker.
Hi, I'm Ms. Ficker. I'm the school secretary here at LPES, and I just wanted to welcome you first and talk about a couple of popular questions we often get from incoming kindergarten parents. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is our Walker form, which I'll show you. And it can be found online, and we also have hard copies here in the office as well. So you use a Walker form whenever you know you're going to be picking up your child early. Whatever the reason is, you simply fill it out, send it in with your child in the morning. Each day the teacher goes around and collects these forms in the morning, and they send them all up to the main office. That's how we know who's going home early and at what time. The reason that filling this out in advance is so important to us is that when you do that, that enables us to have the child ready, packed up, and here in the main office for when you arrive. Another popular question we get is what happens if I forgot something for my child? Maybe it was a pair of gym sneakers, or you forgot to get lunch into their bag before they left. No worries, we have 2 different bins outside. They're clearly labeled drop off and pick up. If you were dropping an item like that off, you would put it in the drop-off bin. Just make sure it's labeled clearly with your child's name and teacher. That helps us to get it to the child as soon as possible. We go out and check these bins periodically, frequently throughout the day, so you don't have to worry. The other bin would be if you were picking up homework for a sick child. You give the teacher until the end of the school day so they can, of course, finish teaching, and then they put it in the bin outside with the child's name so that you can pick it up. I'm sure Mrs. Sorrentino or other school secretary will have a few words for you, and we can't wait to see you in this new school year.
And now we will have a video from Mrs. Safelli, our school nurse.
Hi, my name is Kelly Safelli. I'm the school nurse at Lincoln Park Elementary School. I thought talking in person would be harder, but this is definitely worse. Anyway, like I said, I'm the nurse here at the elementary school. I'm going into my 5th year at Lincoln Park. Both of my children went to school here. My daughter just recently graduated from 8th grade. So we are all done in Lincoln Park and moving on to bigger and better things. So a couple of things. When coming into kindergarten, you need to make sure that your child is up to date on their immunizations and their physicals. Okay, you need to contact your doctor to make sure that they are up to date on both of those things. The physical needs to be within 1 year. And like I said, all immunizations need to be up to date. There's no grace period. I know with the COVID-19, it's been harder to go see your doctors, but there's been no grace period allotted by the state for immunizations, so they still need to be done on time. I know you have to wait a year before your next physical, so there might be a small amount of grace period in between, but they need to be done as soon as possible. Usually I would meet with you during the kindergarten screenings. The kids would go in, I would speak with the parents, so that doesn't seem to be happening this year. You need to contact me with any important health concerns, asthma, food allergies, seizures, diabetes, those big ones that are very important, because this is information that I need to know, that I need to share with the rest of the staff, with your permission, of course. But we need to know who we need to keep a special eye on in case they have those extra health concerns. Another thing I always recommend that kindergarten have is a change of clothes. They may wet their pants, which happens, but also there's playground incidences where the slides are wet, they spill milk on themselves in the cafeteria. So it's always nice to have that extra change of clothing. I do have a very limited supply in my office, but it's always nice to have an extra change. They can keep them right in their classroom. Sometimes they keep them in their backpacks, but whatever it may be, an extra change of clothes is always, always good to have. Another thing that I like to stress is that we need you, parents and guardians, your contact information needs to be up to date. If your child becomes ill, or there is an incident and I need to call you, we need to have the proper telephone number. And also, if the child is ill and they need to go home, I understand that some of you might work really far from the school, but it might be nice to have somebody set up for a contingency plan. It's really horrible to see a little one very ill, crying, waiting for mommy or daddy to come and pick them up. So in that rare case, it is sometimes nice to have somebody that may be closer to home that can keep an eye on your child until you can get back. What else? This is go going to be a different start, that's for sure. But the overall goal is to make sure everybody's safe, everybody's healthy. We have all the paperwork that we need. So all this paperwork is going to have to be emailed in. I know there's been online registration. You could also contact me through my email. It's Cifelli, CIFELLI at linkpark.com. CIFELLI at lincpk.com. Also, I will be checking my email throughout the summer. I don't work over the summer, but I will check it just about every day. Please don't call the office and leave a voicemail in my nurse's office. I'm not going to be checking that over the summer. If you need to make a phone call and you need to speak to someone, you can always call the front office and speak to Mrs. Ficker, Mrs. Sorrentino, or even Mrs. Bammer, and they will relay that message to me. But the best way would be for email. I think that's it. Please contact me with any questions. Make sure you get all of your paperwork in, and I look forward to meeting you all in person very soon. Have a good rest of the summer.
At this time, we will have a video from Mrs. Heffler, who is our school counselor.
Hello, my name is Jacqueline Heffler, and I am the school counselor at Lincoln Park Elementary School. While this is a very different way of how I typically like to introduce myself to our new kindergarten parents, I'm excited to be able to talk with all of you today and explain my role at our school and what it is that I do to try and help your students, your children, find success as they navigate their way into kindergarten and into our school. As you are aware, I am recording this in the summer, in June, and so we don't quite know what September will look like just yet as far as our schooling goes. But I wanted to share with you what my role typically is like at our school and the many ways that I get to work with our students. As the school counselor, I do see students individually as well as in a small group setting, and I also do classroom lessons that are based on various character education skills. Through these three methods, I typically interact with all of our students at some point throughout their time at our school, definitely within the classroom, but oftentimes within my office as well. And something I've noticed in the past is, especially when we have young new students coming in, some parents have some trepidation or concerns about their child visiting the school counselor, that it's either going to attach a stigma to them or be something that's recorded in their permanent file. And I'm here to assure you that neither one of those is the case. I work with students on all different levels of development, from social issues that might arise and be a short-term, small thing that we work through, to academic goals, to processing emotions and things that maybe have happened to them both inside and outside of school. If I am working with your child, you will almost always be notified unless it's something that has immediacy that needs dealing with that day, as well as if I'm in their classroom doing classroom lessons. One thing I like to say at this time is that often our students come into school in kindergarten and they don't know how to read or write or do math problems yet. And that's something that we accept and we work with them on and help them to build those skills. And I think it's important, especially during this time when maybe your child has been a bit more sequestered than a typical summer. It's important for all of us to keep in mind that they are coming to school without those developed social and emotional skills as well. And that is something that we strive to work on here at Lincoln Park Elementary School. So if your child comes home in the beginning of school in the first month or two and is having an issue with a friend, I beg of you to not jump to the worst case scenario and think that your child's being bullied or purposefully sought out. While we take bullying very seriously, oftentimes with our kindergartners, it's students who are learning how to interact and make friendships and grow together. So those are skills that we will always and continue to work on from kindergarten up through 4th grade. Another thing I wanted to say to you all before I sign off for today is during the first few weeks of school, and once again, we might not know exactly what that looks like at this time, and it might be even more so than in years past. There may be some worries or anxiety with your children leaving you or coming into the school building. A few quick things that I'd like to say. Many times our students are picking up whatever the adults around them are doing or feeling, even if we don't think it's terribly noticeable. So if you are talking to them about starting school and you sound excited and you are telling them about how wonderful it's going to be and the friends they'll make and the teachers they'll have, then most times, not all, your child may pick up that same feeling of excitement, of adventure and starting something new. If, however, they come in and they are feeling anxious or worried those first couple of days or weeks, you will see myself out in front of the school, as well as Mrs. Bammer, our principal, and a few other fourth grade helpers we typically have. And we will be there to help your child in any way that we can. I will happily be spending time with our students, our kindergartners who might struggle with coming into the building or detaching from you. So please keep an eye out and don't be afraid to ask for me if you need a little help with getting your youngster inside the building. I am so excited to meet your children and to help them as they continue on their path in their academic journey, and to help in any way that I can. One note is that as the school counselor, our school counseling program is short-term in nature, so it is not a replacement for outside therapeutic services, though I'm always happy to give referrals or recommendations if you were looking for such services outside. I hope you and your family have a wonderful and safe, healthy rest of your summer, and I cannot wait to meet you and your child come September.
Mrs. Kennelly is up next. Mrs. Kennelly is our learning consultant, and in a normal year, she explains our kindergarten screening process that we were unable to complete in May. So we will be benchmarking the children in September, but Mrs. Kennelly wanted to say a few words.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Kennelly, and I am a learning consultant on the Child Study team. I also would have met you at the kindergarten orientation and greeted you at the kindergarten screening. So as you know, things are different this year, so this is part of our kindergarten orientation video, and I just wanted to share a little bit of information with you. So in place of the screening, your child's teacher will be assessing your child's strengths and weaknesses in the classroom in the fall, and also will discuss any concerns with you and offer some small group assistance if needed in our basic skills program. This is with your permission and will be discussed with you if needed. Also, our speech and language therapist will be assessing all students' articulation to see if there are any concerns in that area as well. If your child has been receiving speech therapy or any other kind of therapy, or if you have had any concerns regarding your child's readiness for school, if you can let us know so we can stay on top of things. Anyway, I just wanted to welcome you in this quick little video here, and looking forward to meeting you and seeing you all in the fall. All right, have a great afternoon and a safe summer. Bye-bye.
So thank you, parents, for kindergarten orientation. Again, it is not a normal year, but we're going to make it a great year. We're going to do the best that we possibly can, and we are so excited that you are with us this year. So thank you, everyone. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Enjoy the rest of your summer.